Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So today I'm here with the S21 FE and I'm going to go through and show you some tips and tricks on how to get better battery life out of your phone. Yes, battery life is okay with this phone. I've been getting on average over 5 hours of screen on time, which I think is fine. 4500 milliamp battery, Snapdragon 888 processor, 120 Hz refresh rate. It's got a lot of nice bells and whistles in it, but we can always try and squeak out more battery. We can do things to optimize your screen, the refresh rate, the processes, all that stuff to make it to where your battery lasts even longer. If that's something that you're concerned about, you're going to learn about it today. So anyway, I think I've talked enough. Let's go ahead and dive in and start looking at it and see what we can do to make your battery life better on your phone. All right, first things first, the biggest thing that I find that helps out with your battery life is going to be right here in the display settings. So just go to your settings, tap on display, and then we can go in here. Now we're going to address this kind of in order. Up here you see these two different modes. You see light mode, which makes everything nice and white and bright. Whenever you talk about battery life, that's bad. That uses up more battery to have a white display color than it does with a dark one. So if you have it on dark mode, you're going to save more battery life that way. So I know you may like it this way. You probably don't like it so much when you wake up at 6 in the morning and you have this glaring bright white light. But normally I prefer light mode. But dark mode will save you on the more battery. You can even go into dark mode settings here and you can turn it on a schedule. So if you want, you can do sunset to sunrise or a custom schedule. So this is, I think, is the best way. If you like to use light mode during the day and then dark mode, you want that to kick in the evening so the OLED screen is not burning your retinas, then that's a good option there to save some battery as well, but also kind of make it work out for you. This right here, adaptive brightness. Adaptive brightness automatically changes the brightness of the screen based off the ambient and direct lighting that you have around you. So if you're sitting here and it's a nice bright room, you can see it's not so bright in my office. So it kicked the brightness up from, I had it down here. So if you turn that on, it'll adjust it. Well, if you get more brightness, then it will automatically lower. And then if you're in a darker setting, it will brighten up. So this gives you the ideal air quotes lighting for the given situation. So instead of always being at 80, always being at 100 or whatever it is, this is supposed to help out with battery life. I don't personally use it, but it's supposed to help. The other thing you can do is motion smoothness. Now, this is a selling point, and I always get a lot of criticism when I mention this because one of the major selling points of the phone is the 120 Hz display. So if you turn the 120 Hz display off, if you go from high refresh rate to standard, which is 60 Hz, it's going to save quite a bit of battery. But at the same point in time, why are you buying this phone if you're not going to use the 120 Hz refresh rate, right? Well, a lot of people don't notice. A lot of people can't tell the difference, or some people may value battery life even more. So this is one of those things where if you really are concerned about battery, if it's not doing well enough, if the 5G is really kicking your butt in whatever your area is in, then you can turn it down to standard. And you can even use a Bixby routine to have it turn on standard at certain points in time. And I've actually got another whole video about that for Bixby routines, which you can check out and show you how to do that. But for today, we'll talk about this. High refresh rate burns up more battery. Standard, it will save you on the battery life. Then here, we can go to screen timeout. This may seem something like very, very dumb and very simple, but in reality, a lot of times we forget to turn our screens off. So if your screen timeout time is set really high, like mine is, I make videos all the time, so I need to leave it up higher so people can see what's going on. If you have this set on like 30 seconds, it'll automatically turn the screen off after 30 seconds, so you're not sitting there burning up more and more battery while you're not doing anything. So that right there is an easy passive battery saver that will save you some serious time on your phone, and you don't even have to worry about it. It doesn't impact the performance at all one bit. So that's it for here. Other things that we're going to do is down here you can go to always on display. So always on display, you can search for this in the settings as well. This will burn up battery too. Now, do you need to have it always on display? The always on display is where it shows the data when your screen is off. You can turn that off, or you can have it on as scheduled, or you can only have it on for show new notifications. There's a lot of different things that you can set up on here that will give you the ability to use your always on display without burning up a lot of battery. So right here, you tap on it, and this is your always on display right here. So if you tap the screen, there you go. It pops on for 10 seconds as is. It's not a real battery eater, but you can have it where it's like always on. So that's like right there. If you have on show always, that's going to burn up more battery. So this might be a better way to go, but that's something you can do too, or you can just turn it off. Now, other things you can do. If you're really, really worried about it, you can go down here to your battery settings, click on battery, and then once you're in battery, you can go to right there, tap on battery again. You can do power saving. So power saving, you can turn it on. Here are the things you can choose from. Limit CPU speed to 70%, turn off always on display, decrease brightness by 10%, limit apps and home screen. So what that does is it limits the background activity so they're not burning up battery when you're not using stuff. This right here, if you turn that on, it kicks in all of these features. But if you don't want to limit apps and home screen, you can turn that option off. If you don't want to limit this processor speed to 70%, but turn the others off, well, you can do that too. So that's another option there. That'll help you save some battery. And then right here, background usage limits. This is an important one. So this option right here is on by default, but what it means is put unused apps to sleep. That means they're not using background data. When this is on, you're going to get better performance out of your phone because your apps are always running in the background, even if you're not using them. If you hit open them, if you have that on, then it will close them and it'll shut them off. So that way they're not drawing background data and using up your battery when you're not even using the app. So that's another great way. And last but not least, you can go to more battery settings here. These things right here, adaptive battery, you want to leave that on. It's on by default. That's where the phone learns your processes, your procedures. It learns how you use your phone so it can optimize how it runs things in the background and what it allows to do. So that one, you want to leave that one on. Enhanced processing, that's actually off by default. I like to use it on because I feel like it makes my phone zippier. It doesn't apply to games. So if you're using a game, that always is going to run at optimum speed. But other stuff, faster data processing for all apps, it uses more battery, but you do get kind of a slightly zippier experience. So you can turn that off. You can leave it off by default, and that will save you battery. And then also here, you can do some stuff like protect your battery. This extends the lifespan of your battery, limits the maximum charge to 85%. So your phone, out of the box, is going to get 100% charge. If you turn this on, it saves that last 15%. And that last 15% is important. Even like my wife's Tesla, it does something similar to that. Or even the iPhones, they slow charge or they won't charge once you get over like 90% in some situations. What that does is it saves that last little amount. It requires the most energy to fill up that last part of your battery. So it generates more heat. And by not filling it up all the way to 100% all the time, it preserves your overall battery life. And then you've still got that kind of as a reserve if your battery life degrades over time. So you can turn that on. That's going to take away 15% of your battery off the top. But if you turn on these other features, then it also helps save your battery life so you can run something like that, preserve your battery life, and still get better battery life at the same time. So that's about all I've got as far as what I wanted to show you for saving battery, how to optimize your phone, and what features that there are in here that you can use to make your battery life better on your S21 FE. All right, pretty cool, huh? I know that wasn't too crazy, too lengthy or convoluted, but I think that it's helpful. Some people really want to make sure their phone lasts, well, all day long, maybe even to the next day. The phone gets okay battery life. This is not as bad of a situation as like the Z Flip 3, where we're looking on average about 4 hours of screen on time max. Now, getting over 5 hours I think is good, but you can always get better than that. And if you're a power user, you're going to need more than that. I mean, it may not last you all day long, or you may find yourself in a position where you forget to charge all the time, and really, you just want to squeeze as much battery life out of as possible. So I hope that this video was helpful for you. I hope it was simple and easy to follow and showed you some steps and some tips that you could go through to optimize your phone. Gave you the insight you needed, and now you're good to go with your amazing battery life on your S21 FE. So that's all I've got in this video. If you have any questions or comments or concerns regarding any information here, please head down to the comments section. I will get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.